Hello, thank you for joining me on this channel. I appreciate you for being here. My intention is to build a conscious community, one that is awakened and aware and present, not just to increase our collective consciousness and the vibration that comes from being in a high frequency, but also to be able to guide, help, and share with others. This expansion or ascension, the spiral upwards, is not something that we can see in our 3D reality. It's got to do with the subtle shifts inside ourselves and the rewiring of thought processes and the balancing of the nervous system. It is the slow snipping, cutting away of things that don't serve us, things that have tied us to material objects and outcomes, things we've tried to fix, change, and control that are not for our highest good or not supposed to be on this path with us towards whatever destiny, purpose, and potential God has in store for you, to align you with spiritual gifts and for you to have a closer connection with God's source spirit. I went to a memorial yesterday of a friend that died a couple of weeks ago, and his passing was a shock to everybody. He was integral to the growth and popularity of live bands and punk and alternative music here in the Western Cape. And of course, I got to see people that I hadn't seen for a while and got to experience the camaraderie between all the friends as they went up on stage and jammed together and played music together, all with very sore hearts and the best of intentions to honor his memory. And we got to experience a bagpiper. I'm not sure if you've ever heard a Scottish bagpiper play, and how that air moves through the bag that is set under the piper's arms, and how that sound fills a room. It is absolutely incredibly powerful. I feel similarly when I'm riding on a motorcycle and I can feel that movement of air across my whole body. This was like being on a two-wheeler, riding out into the Himalayas, feeling my whole body opening up. And of course it did purge a lot of emotion. And, you know, to make space for new, that's what we need to do. We need to purge old emotions out of the nervous system, and we need to find ways to express that. If we have withheld from anything due to any reason, we have the opportunity to go inwards and analyze that decision and change the outcome if necessary at any point in time. We should never feel restricted by resetting ourselves. Addiction to what we think we know, addiction to these repeating cycles, is a safe space for the ego. And only we know those secrets of the shadow self. Only we know if we have an authentic divine union with God, if we are transparent with ourselves, when we can honestly say that there's no room to carry that anymore. I've also lost another friend in the last week was someone that I knew within the circles of our events and music festivals scene. And why are these things happening in such random, obscure ways, taking people who are younger and younger? It does concern me, and it does make me want to find answers and to not settle. All right, let's read today's reading. But the great souls, O Arjuna, partaking of my divine nature, worship me with a single mind, knowing me as the imperishable source of beings. Always glorifying me, striving, firm in vows, prostrating before me, they worship me with devotion, always steadfast. The previous two verses stated the characteristics of a person of diabolical nature. Here we are introduced to the characteristics of the man of divine nature. Nature is God's own nature. It is the law of manifestation. However, that everything has two poles or sides. All that is within material, temporal, rational, or conceptual levels has two extremes, which are the pairs of opposites: ignorance and knowledge, divine and undivine, manifest and unmanifest, truth and falsehood, reality and unreality. These always coexist as the two poles of a single manifest being. However, God is beyond these because He is beyond all materiality, temporality, rationalization, or concept. God's nature, when it is manifest here, has the two extremities of the divine and undivine. The human soul, however, is endowed with the intelligence to discriminate between the two, to make the choice, and the will to make that choice operative. Operative meaning act upon that choice. Because yes, it's all fine and well to say we're going to integrate. Just like the title of yesterday's reading, Hope Without Substance. If there's no plan, if there's no strategy, how can anything take action? Yes. However, God is beyond these because He is beyond all materiality, temporality, rationalization, or concept. God's nature, when it is manifest here, has the two extremities of the divine and the undivine. The human soul, however, is endowed with the intelligence to discriminate between the two, to make the choice, and the will to make that choice operative. We shall see more about this division or divine and undivine natures in a later chapter. Suffice it to say here that those who have chosen to pursue divine nature partake of that divine nature and adore God with all their being, while at the same time realizing that He is the divine presence in all beings. Bowing to all beings as the shrines of the divine spark, they serve all, love all, and adore all beings. There's such a perversion in the undivine now. Horrifying stories. What people are doing to their families, their pets, their communities, their countries. Where does it end, right? Where does the undivinity end? What do we need to put our fists around, apply pressure and extract? What do we need to pull out? I'm not sure why I have that analogy here, but how can we separate ourselves from that which is undivine? Firstly, we need to acknowledge that there is undivine, and then we need to really analyze it. The cutting tools you have. You have the sword of truth, knowledge, divine union with God. Call on Him, call on Spirit for that strength, for courage and for bravery. This is the symbolism of the Holy Cross too, in which are synthesized the two commandments of Lord Jesus: love thy Lord and love thy neighbor as thine own self. The vertical beam representing the former, the horizontal beam representing the latter, and the intersection indicating their identity. In all of this mix of people that were present at this memorial last night, I felt so detached. It's the first time that I've really been out in an environment like that since I've been back from India. And my time in Dharamshala and the frequency that I brought back to South Africa after that beautiful week up in the mountains is something I'm holding so dear and special inside of myself. And I'm transmuting it here with you every day as a gift to you. My authenticity, my love, my peace, and my presence. And I do hope that you get benefit from this frequency. Keep your heart open. Keep your eyes and your ears mindful of what you are consuming. Find stillness, calm moments for yourself where you can detach from everything. Relax. I'm sending you my love, peace, and light to nourish you. As an example of Shakti energy medicine, powerful energetic force that I was attuned to when I was working on the streets in India. How I long for that ability to invite more people into this presence in service of the self, each other, and humanity. The divine in me sees the divine in you. Namaste. God bless you. See you soon.